Hi everyone! Welcome back to C1 Novel and Vocab Week 11. And this video is for our novel. If you're looking for the vocab, please go back and click on the vocab video, but this one is for novel. And let's get started. We will be going over difficult phrases from our novel Clementine. And this is for cultural fluency. By becoming familiarized with different slang and colloquialisms, which means different sayings that people say, students will be able to relate to the novel and incorporate, which means to use these phrases to convey and show their ideas more precisely. So we're not just going to read the book and say, oh, I don't know what this means. I am here to help you understand those difficult phrases. And in this video for week 11, we'll be going over chapters 9 and 10. So if you don't already, please go get your Clementine novel book so that we can flip through it and read it together. Let's get started. This video may be a bit short because there just aren't that many phrases that I found difficult in these last two chapters, but instead I will try my best to explain it all to you. Okay, first let's go to page 114. Go 114, and I found it. I'm going to start from the very top so that I can read longer to you and for you to easily follow along. Okay, at the very top of page 114, ready? It says, my brother started laughing so hard he spit up his breakfast waffles, and my parents said, Clementine, please, at exactly the same time, which I think they practice at night when I am asleep, but they were laughing too. And suddenly, it was a pretty good day in spite of the hole scrubbed into my head. In spite of. So, some people may already know what this phrase means, but I'm going to go over the idiom with you. Okay? So the idiom, in spite of, means despite something negative or challenging happening, there is still a positive outcome or experience. It's like saying that even though something difficult occurred, it didn't stop good things from happening. So the origin of this idiom, in spite of, dates back to the Middle English, long time ago, where the word spite meant ill will or malice. So it means very, very bad. So over time, in spite of, this phrase came to mean despite or regardless of something negative or something bad. The phrase evolved and changed to become a common expression in English language usage. So you can probably see this from any other books too. It just means despite of or in spite of, or regardless of. For example, imagine it's raining on the day of a picnic, but you still have a great time because you bring umbrellas and you enjoy your friends there. You could say, we had a wonderful picnic in spite of the rain. So even though there was rain, we still had fun. In this quote from the book, Clementine says, and suddenly it was a pretty good day in spite of the hole scrubbed into my head. This means that even though there was something negative, like her mom scrubbing her head so hard that she thinks that she has a hole there, even though this bad thing happened, it still turned out to be a pretty good day. She found a positive aspect in the day. So the saying, in spite of, means even when things are tough, we can still find good stuff. It's like saying, keep going and stay positive, even if there are problems. It reminds us that tough times don't have to make everything bad. So, in spite of. So make sure, try to use this in your regular speech as well. You can say, in spite of the bad score on the vocabulary test, I learned my lesson and made sure to watch Miss Kimberly's videos from that day on. So even though there is a failed vocab test, the good part is that you are able to learn to watch my videos. Good. A little self-plug there. Good. In spite of. Now, let's go to page 123. I have a lot of pictures here. Let's go to page 123. And you may be like, Miss Kimberly, why didn't you add pictures for the one before for in spite of? Well, I didn't know what picture to put, so I didn't put one there. Page 123. I'm going to start from the 3rd indent. It says luckily. Right here. Luckily. Okay? It says, luckily, I knew what my parents would like me to clean. I dragged everything out from the black hole and piled it on top of my bed. And you would not believe how much stuff came out. 4 shoes, 3 brushes, and too many clips to count. Socks, a really crunchy Easter peep, and a top hat that had been missing from the Monopoly game for 2 years. And she goes to continue listing all these things that she found in the black hole, right? My, her room was messy. But some of you were reading this and you're like, blah, 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 blah. But instead of you just skipping over all of the things that she found, I want to go over the little details. Because this is cultural difference. A really crunchy Easter peep. But first, what's an Easter peep, right? Have you guys ever had Easter peeps? It's this picture down here next to me. This pink bunny. An Easter peep is a popular type of candy that is shaped like a small chick or a bunny. And it's usually brightly colored, often yellow, pink, or blue. Here in this picture, it's pink. And it's made of marshmallow and coated with sugar. So like all that pink stuff you see here is like pink sugar on top of it. And it's soft and very chewy. Easter peeps are commonly found during Easter holiday season and are often given as gifts or used as decorations in Easter baskets in America. But here, I just said that Easter peeps are soft and chewy, right? But this book, it says a really crunchy Easter peep. One wouldn't really describe an Easter peep to be crunchy. So crunchy here suggests that the Easter peep has become hard and dry, possibly from being left out for a while in Clementine's room. So rather than the soft and chewy texture it originally had when it was fresh, it became very crunchy and hard. Meaning that this marshmallow has been under her bed for a long time. It's a humorous detail that adds to the scene or the situation that she's describing. Next is the top hat that had been missing from the Monopoly game for 2 years. First, Monopoly is this game over here. Where's my mouse? Here. And you buy property and you roll a dice and it's all this fun game. And to signify everyone in the game, they get little pieces. So there's a dog, there's a top hat, there's a car, there's other stuff that I don't remember. But this, one of the iconic pieces of the game is the top hat because the Monopoly character wears a top hat. And what is a top hat? A top hat looks like this big black hat that goes on top. Again, this is a very small detail, but it adds to the emphasis that she had a lot of different knickknacks and she was really messy. And for this fact, another extended detail is that this top hat part of the Monopoly game had been missing for 2 years, meaning she hasn't been cleaning her room for a long time. So for her, finally, to clean her room, it means that something inside of her is really changing. Remember, she thought that her parents were going to do what? Yes, get rid of her. Remember, she was like, good riddance and goodbye and good riddance. Goodbye and good riddance. And she thought that her parents were getting rid of her, so she's decided to clean her room. And these are all the things that she found. Very good. Let's go to the next one. Everyone go to page 128. 128. And I will read from the middle, the first indent. It says, and then. And then I ran out of air. I took a big gulp. Here, ran out of air means she was talking so much. She was And then she got a big gulp of water, or not water, air. Anyways, that's not what I'm explaining here. Continue. I won't be like me anymore, and then I'll be the easy one too. As easy as celery. Her brother. So you don't have to get rid of me, which I know about because I heard you say, one's all we need, and then I heard you order a cake that says goodbye and good riddance, Clementine. My parents both ran over to me and hugged me at the same time. A hug sandwich. Then they took my hands and brought me out to the dining room. So they had a picture on the side here. And you don't need to look here because you can just look at your book, but I'm just showing you just in case. A hug sandwich. What's a hug sandwich? I know what a sandwich is. A sandwich is this yummy thing over there that's in my on the screen, right? The term hug sandwich is a playful way to describe a hug that involves being hugged from both sides, or from both sides from two people. So one in the front, one in the back, or one on my right side, one on my left side. It feels like you're in the middle of a sandwich of hugs. So, as you can see in this picture, the dad's on this side, mom's on this side. This is a big hug sandwich because there's two children in the middle. So imagine you're the piece of bread and in the middle, and your parents are the slices of bread on either side, giving you a hug from both directions. It's a warm and an affectionate gesture and can make you feel loved and surrounded by care. So, pretend daddy here is bread, mommy here is sandwich, and in here we are the meat of the sandwich. But I wanted to explain this because we don't just say hug sandwich. We can use the word sandwich for other different types. For example, we might use the term sandwich for other things to describe situations where something is being surrounded or enclosed by something else. For example, say that you're in a traffic jam coming to MI and there's so many cars, right? You might say, you're stuck in a car sandwich. If vehicles are tightly packed in front of you and behind of you. So it's just another fun way. Instead of just saying, oh, I was stuck in traffic, there are so many cars, you can say, it was a car sandwich. There are so many cars scrunching up. Or you can say, when you're making a triple-decker sandwich, like think of like a Big Mac sandwich, right? From McDonald's. With multiple layers of fillings between the slices of bread. You can call it a sandwich stack or sandwich tower because the layers are being stacked on top of each other. Or, if you're standing in between two tall buildings, you might be jokingly refer to yourself as being a concrete sandwich because the buildings are made out of concrete. So you're saying that you're being surrounded by so many buildings. You're in a concrete sandwich. Each of these examples, the term sandwich is used metaphorically to describe the situation where something is being squished. Okay? So I know that some of you may have looked at the picture and you're like, oh, I know what a hug sandwich is, but did you know that you can use the word sandwich for other situations also? Well, now you know. Good. This sandwich picture is making me hungry. Next one, page 128. To the back, Miss Kimberly, go. Oops, I didn't change the page number. That up top should say page 133. Everyone please turn to 133. Mistake! No! I promise I'll have less mistakes next week. Yikes. Actually, I want to read from the last sentence on page 132 so it's easy to follow. It says, when I came back out, I saw Margaret wanting to touch my kitten, and I saw her tell her hands to be quiet about that because he was mine and he was new. I wanted to say, the rule is no touching my kitten because it's the rule. But I didn't. Instead, my mouth opened up and said, want to pat moisturizer, Margaret? Which was a very big surprise, let me tell you. So, before, in the context of the story, you have to know that she went to the bathroom to find a name for her new cat that her parents bought her. First, in the book Clementine goes to the bathroom to look for a name for her cat because she thinks it's a quiet place and she can concentrate and brainstorm without distractions. Remember, Clementine is a very creative and imaginative character, and she often comes up with ideas in unconventional, which means like not normal places. And she believes that being alone in the bathroom will help her focus her thoughts and come up with the perfect name for her cat. She looks around and looks at like all these names around in her bathroom, and she chooses a name that she found. And here, she found the word moisturizer. And some of you may be like, what's moisturizer? Some of you may know. Moisturizer is a product typically used to hydrate and soften the skin. It's just another word for face lotion. Okay? In the quote here, Clementine, the humor in this sentence is also very hidden here. And you wouldn't know. But it says, want to pat moisturizer? But when you put on moisturizer, we pat it into our face. We pat it. We're like, right? When we put on lotion. So here, patting moisturizer, it's kind of nonsensical and funny because here, instead of patting moisturizer in our skin, Clementine is asking Margaret if she wants to pat the actual cat. It's just another funny way because moisturizer isn't something that you would typically pet or interact with in the same way that you would of having a pet. But it was just another fun way to say it. But just in case if you didn't understand why the cat's name was moisturizer after the bathroom, that's because moisturizer is a lotion and she found the name in the bathroom. Okay? Very good. And I'm so sorry. I know you guys always say to make the novel videos long, but I couldn't find any. I knew that all you third graders were smart and you would have known all the other phrases, so I had to skip them. But hopefully this is the last 2 chapters of Clementine, and we'll be starting a new book soon. Okay, very good. So thank you again for staying with me. Now it's up to you. Please review the phrases again. Go back. This video was very short. Why not watch it 2 times? I think it's a good idea. This time you read out loud the passages by yourself. Okay? And why don't you reread the novels where these phrases came from? Maybe read the page before, that page, and the page after so that you can remember and refresh your memory about what happened. And then after all of that, you can complete your novel homework. Or if you did it already, good job. You have nothing else to do. Okay, thank you everyone for joining me for our last video for Clementine. And I will see you guys week 12. Bye!